do with youth? But what shall we do with redundant adults?
Well, I think that Ted Noffs is the Johnny Raper of his particular trade. There's none better than him.
I think he's the hope of the church and humanity.
A lot of people will knock him, but I think this is the same with all men who have new ideas and want to do something.
I would not feed him on goannas out of respect for the goanna. He's a con man.
Well, he's a good man, but he's too involved with himself.
Ted Noffs is an evil, wicked man. The devil's working through him to destroy religion.
I think he's probably saving up for a new car.
Well, it began when the Methodist Church asked me to come up here in 1963 to establish some kind of experiment. So that I came up here with no staff, no plant, no equipment, and so on. Everything that has happened as far as the development of the chapel's life is concerned has been a chapter of accidents. It all happened as a result of encountering needs, human needs. Technically, we would cover the area that takes in Woolloomooloo, King's Cross, the southern area of, the northern area of Darlinghurst, and we would go as far east as the end of Double Bay, that area. However, this means nothing anymore because the chapel ministers across the entire metropolitan area of Sydney by virtue of the fact that the people that come here come from everywhere. Of course, from the very beginning of our work here, we realized our responsibility was to the immediate environment, that we had to take seriously those who were our neighbours. When I came to King's Cross, however, I think that it would be said that the situation here influenced me as much as I may have influenced the situation. I remember the first encounter I had with young people, and when I went into Woolloomooloo, nobody could tell me anything about young people. You know, I was an expert on youth. I'd started all of these programs that the church considered to be radical. But when I went into that first pad, I discovered that I knew absolutely nothing and that I had to begin all over again. And I've told the story often, you know, of the fact that I was hated and despised by these young people because I represented a sick society, and most of all, religion, which, you know, was the sickest of all institutions because it claimed the most and did the least.
Welcome, everybody, to the Wayside Chapel. And we commence this time of worship, this third worship service on this Sunday, in the singing of a great New England hymn, the hymn number 908. But almost with geometrical progression today, our irrelevance is leading the world to the point where it has every right to question our very existence. We have forfeited, I believe, our heritage. We no longer have any right to call ourselves the followers of the person whose name was Jesus.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
You are your own pope now. You are your own president of the conference. You are your own moderator of the assembly. The very authorities that have once stood the test of time no longer apply. Now authority is with the individual, just as it was with Jesus. He opened the scroll and found the passage which says, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me."
Well, we've always had bikies coming to the coffee house and the chapel, but we never got to know them very well until one day they said, "Isn't it possible, Ted, that some of us can meet here?" And I said, "All right." We didn't have anywhere where they could meet, and so we suggested that they meet in the chapel.
Well, yeah, he was going real good until I tried to catch up to him, but it didn't work.
That bear was rather good in about 12 inches of water, though, didn't it?
Well, yeah, I tried to catch him. That was funny, funny. There's something very special to riding bikes. It's a bit hard to put exactly into words the feeling of freedom and exhilaration that one gets You're riding along the highway? Well, I started off at a private school, but I didn't like the conformity there. So after a few little incidents, they asked me if I would leave. Because they said if I got into trouble again, I'd be expelled. I wouldn't leave home. I get on very well with my parents, although being only child, I think that helps. The Wayside Chapel, I think, as far as motorcyclists concerned, even being a church, it falls in something with their line of thinking, or with our line of thinking, that they're trying to help other people in a different sort of way. And they also try and help us, which is the opposite to most churches, because you end up, you've got to wear a suit, and you can't do this and you can't do that, whereas the Wayside Chapel accepts you exactly as you are. So I found that the Wayside Angels were forming up, and they were interested in touring. We all get away for a weekend camping, turn up the pub on Saturday nights, have a good sing-song. Yeah, where's the dust?
Yes, Ursula Caldor fulfills a very important role with the senior citizens. She visits the convalescent hospitals and also is in charge of the pastoral work.
Mr. Tweedy? Well, how are you? I haven't seen you for a long time.
Oh, well, it's nice to see you sometimes. You know, you do come to me sometimes. Yeah.
Listen, I have brought you some pajamas.
Oh, yeah, I've got the feel.
Well,
You brought me the other day, and I'm like,
listen, I want to take them home to wash.
yeah. Oh, that was
Wash them.
That's all right, I know. Yeah.
Yes, you have those clean ones, and I take the others.
Here.
That's it. Yes. Yes, well, I'll bring them back.
All right, there's no hurry. I've got two other things.
Good.
Thank you, lady.
How have you been?
Wonderful.
How have you been?
Oh, yes, it's not too bad, you know. Sometimes it's not too bad, other days not very good, you know. And I've done about 50 years younger, I'd be a sweetheart.
Yes? Well, I take it as a compliment.
Yeah, you would. You got a long way to go yet.
Mr. Tweedy, tell me, do any of your relatives write to you?
Thank you.
Any of your family write to you?
Oh, yes. My sister.
Yes?
Yes. There's some letters in there from her.
May I have a look?
Yes. In the top drawer here.
Ah, yes.
Hey, some of them there. Give them to me. I said.
That's from your sister. Christmas card.
That's a huntsman. He said he likes the hounds. You know, stag hounds, chasing